Hey everybody, it's Kalymnios here, author of the book The Thought Gym and founder of thethoughtgym.com, and today I want to talk to you in this video about this idea called a learning ladder. What's a learning ladder? Well, really it is just the 4 stages that we all go through in order to master any kind of activity or skill. The first step of this learning ladder, and I'll explain them all in detail in a moment, the first step is unconscious incompetence. The second stage is conscious incompetence. The 4th stage is conscious competence, and the last and final stage is unconscious competence. So let's take these one step at a time, and I'm going to illustrate it with driving, because it's something that many of us know already about. The first stage of learning is unconscious incompetence. So it's at a stage when you don't actually know that you don't know. You don't know that you didn't know how to drive when you were maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. It didn't even come into your awareness that this was a skill that you didn't have. Then, by about maybe, 10, 12, 13, you are in the conscious incompetence stage, in that you know that you don't know how to drive. You know, you're sitting there thinking, oh, I really wish I knew how to do this, but I just can't do it. Or maybe actually you started taking lessons, you're 16, 17 years old, you start taking lessons and you are, grinding the gearbox and you're knocking over all the cones and you're doing all that kind of stuff. And that's your conscious incompetence. You are aware that you are rubbish, that's it. And the third stage is that of conscious competence. So this is the stage we get to probably as we're about to take our test, and probably for a good few months maybe after having taken our test, where we are competent at it, we're good at it, we can do it, but we have to think about it all the time. We have to think, mirror, signal, maneuver, whatever it is, or press the clutch and then put it into gear. The 4th stage is that of mastery, if you like, which we get to after maybe a few months of driving, or maybe for some people it's a lot longer, I don't know. But let's say for you and me it was only after a couple of months, where you are unconsciously competent. By that I mean that you don't have to think about mirror, signal, maneuver. You don't have to constantly know that you have to kind of put the clutch down to move the gear if you're driving a manual car, that is. You are unconsciously competent. In fact, you're so unconsciously competent that you see so many people, they're able to kind of be on the phone, shout quiet to the kids, do the makeup, do all sorts of things while they're driving, which they shouldn't be, by the way. They should be focusing just on the road. But my point is that you become so competent at it that the mere activity is unconscious. My challenge to you is, are there areas in your life now, noticing, having said this, that you are either consciously competent of or unconsciously competent, or whereabouts are you on your learning ladder, if you like, for any activity that you're doing? And the important thing to notice with the learning ladder is to make sure that your ladder is actually leaning up against the right wall. It's a phrase I've heard once before and I quite liked it, because so often we may be learning our steps to mastery, our steps to unconscious competence, but it's not in the right place. Let's say, for example, that you are, super keen on being a triathlete, and you're working really hard at being an awesome triathlete, but yet actually, really, that's not really what you want to do. That was someone else's goal. So that's because your girlfriend or your boyfriend was into triathlons, or some other reason. And really what you love is ultimate frisbee, So make sure that when you are on this path, this ladder of learning, and this learning ladder, if you like, that it's leaning up against the right wall, and it's the one that you put it against, not someone else. That's all for today. Just notice in your life whereabouts you are in those, and on that stage of your learning for various activities. I would love to hear from you. I will respond to comments personally, so please like, share, subscribe, comment in any available spaces that are there. That's all for today. I hope you have a fantastic week. Take this forward, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.